One thing that was really concerning for me, the central banks overlooks all these banks, right? So if the banks have issues, it is the central bank that will, tell them, hey, supervision and all that. But the auditors are saying the central bank itself transferred 23 point something million of this undisclosed amount was transferred by the central bank directly to accounts at the Guaranteed Trust Bank, bypassing the Consolidated Revenue Fund, CRF, at the Treasury main account. And they're the ones who are supposed to penalize all these banks if they do any wrongdoing.
Exactly.
If they are doing something like this, what is that supposed to mean?
The road starts on the top. If the central bank, that's the banking supervision department, which is supposed to set the standard and to supervise those banks, is involved in wrongdoing itself. It would happen elsewhere. What are they going to supervise anyone else? And these are the people who were blaming EcoBank, Access Bank, for the involvement in Russian oil scandal. When they are the ones supervising those banks, what was happening? Where were they? What were they doing? Sleeping on the job. So those banks were definitely guilty of some wrongdoing. But central bank was also derelict in duty. They should have detected. They should have seen that.
In many of these institutions, in fact, the middle management will be trying their best, trying to do the work. I'm pretty sure the supervision department probably, they're probably trying to do their best working there. But a lot of these problems happen from the very top in many of these institutions. So in the central bank, instead of even focusing on the supervision department, I'm sure the moving of these funds, these will be things that will start from the very top. That will start at the very top. So the questions to me should be, I won't even ask these questions at the level of supervision. I'll ask them at the level of SEDI's office. This is where these problems occur in these institutions. This leadership. Just like in the Ministry of Finance, Ministry of Industry. If you were to ask some of these at the level of directors, probably they are doing their best to try to keep things working. These rot and wrongdoings, they always originate from the very top. Which is why I have a problem, I've been sounding the alarm about these MPC reports, because the tone and everything that is, the headline things that are, these are all things that are, directed from the very top to try to portray a certain, narrative that is not supported by the real data that is in the, the MPC report itself.
The minister, though, in all of these audit reports, just like you said, the minister's statement was this. He said...
Which minister?
Ebrima Sillah.
Yes.
Obviously, he has questioned starting... He said audit reports do not necessarily mean it's a Bible or the Quran. He said they too can have it wrong. The minister also said... the Minister of Works and Infrastructure has strongly rejected findings from the Auditor General's representatives in the road construction contract in North Bank region, describing the report as grossly misleading and
blatantly false.
Blatantly false.
Basically, what Minister Sillah is doing is echoing his boss, who already mentioned years earlier that audit reports are mere opinions. Minister Sillah, first of all, hasn't, if he were a capable and a competent minister who cares about things being done correctly in his ministry, if you see an audit report, a body that is not run by the opposition, that is part of the government, that has a primary role of ensuring accountability, your first thing to do as a minister should be express concern and make sure that that issue is looked at. He's in no position right now to determine that that is false. I mean, the release of those reports are now, for me, it's not possible for the ministry to investigate itself. A government that is, that is not corrupt, a government that is competent, a government that is working for the Gambian people will not have a minister that is giving this kind of comment. So Mr. Sillah here is taking his cue from his president, from his boss, and it's not surprising. I mean, if all one has to do is just go and visit these roads and look at the quality. Building a road is not just putting asphalt, pouring on asphalt on the ground. There are quality standards. You go to Brufut, you go on this Battle Harding Highway, you see the substandard work. Yeah. You see work that is being done and being dug again. We've seen that all over. The quality of the work shows that the leadership in this ministry, in this case, Mr. Sillah himself is very wanting. And the fact that he's not concerned about corruption means the problem starts at the very top.
Yeah.
You want to solve this problem, you have to start looking at starting from the minister himself. If his first comments here is not to actually ensure that there is a digging of it, clearing of this issue, then he is part of the problem. We shouldn't be listening to what Mr. Sillah is saying. He's part of the problem.
He is part of the problem because when the minister tells you the report is grossly misleading and blatantly false, when he had the opportunity to put that to the auditors and to rectify the report, he didn't do it.
Yeah.
The report comes out and is adversely mentioning him and his ministry. Now you come out and tell us it's grossly misleading and blatantly false. If that is true, why don't you give them the evidence?
Yeah.
If you have that evidence, why don't you give it? Because it's not there. He's just spinning, and that's all. It's not true what he's saying.
And that is worrying.
True.
Yeah.
When we were telling everybody that Battle Harding and the OIC roads are poorly done, substandard, overpriced,
and expensive, yes, you said,
and it's going to cost us money.
Yeah.
They're already digging from Steen Corner. When you come from Banjul, Steen Corner, just the road that goes towards Radio Gambia, they're digging about a 50-meter stretch already. They've dug it all up and are laying concrete. So less than a year or so after, they're already digging the road and redoing it. And we were saying that all along. This road is substandard, it's poorly done. The base and sub-base of that road is poorly done. And when it starts sagging, the whole top surface will break. And he said, oh no, we did double what? It's what's underneath that counts. And there's a road that he said cost us $6.2 million per kilometer instead of one.
Yeah.
And they've got more money to make it even more expensive. $45 million extra to raise it from $150 million to $204 million. But we don't even have pedestrian crossings.
Yeah.
We don't have gutters to carry the water for drainage. People's houses are getting flooded all over the place. You take yesterday I was driving on Kairaba Avenue, just where the old OIC was, OIC former office, just like a river. And there's a new road that cuts across it, that they did. That new road, that place, it was a sunken part. Just before the Alliance Francaise, it was flooded. So all of these roads are getting flooded because of the poor design, poor drainage facilities, and substandard work. And I kept saying this. These roads are going to be a white elephant for us. It's going to cost us so much money in terms of repairs, in terms of maintenance. And yet we still have to pay back those loans. Even before we start paying for them, we are paying for maintenance. So, and nobody's being called to book for that. This is the attitude of this government. So they think they can spin anything. And he said, oh, what people think about us, we don't care, we won't budge.
Yeah, that's right.
Really?
And that, for me, that is what is more concerning. When public officials tell us, social media, but you know what, I tell them, look, you're not going to be here forever.
Yeah. Exactly.
Amita nyawnya jawara sanji tansaba leke janga tatale. Jamme sanji mwani mfula leke janga tatale. Hani baro sanji kemele ke janga bitale. And the accountability was totally. So for them to know that, what are killing? So Amita nyawnya. Next door, Senegal, Macky Sall brother Hainang right now, he's facing the full judiciary. investigation. He's facing them right now. His brother-in-law was in jail for how many months? Ala jalo hainang. Wala kafu mole ko miumin dia ta ba kelele. Majambal jany haina dingona la musobe jail ate porta atara France.
Exactly.
You understand?
Yeah.
So if you tell us you can do anything because you are in power, remember the day of accountability is going to come.
Yeah.
And they tell us this, and I tell people, look, let's put it on record.
Yeah.
Let's put it on record. As long as they keep telling us adiate to le bakela nga fo nga fintindi banku dingole ya sto ma lungo be sila
makika mo nafuna ko non ko ngol la kan audit report de fintila
ba
ko ngol la kan
kabata
mo ne keta bi
wala fintita ten
wala fintita
ñu ko feo fenke to ten investigate ye min tara nunje e ko wala diam
e ko report min bije ye min kenu to mo report ko bolode e report min taji ka wala implement
wala investigate
bi be borka be borta be banko budale ta
yeah
because mil be je andu say arrest warrant like maska di Majambal Jang is arrested in France.
Yeah.
Ibas malana.
Arrest warrant you will yeah.
Exactly. That's what
so ni fe o fenke.
So
is
gonna catch Senegal.
Yeah.
Ni wa min karandi. Ite karanda ko te. Macky Sall hayna bortabe sirinda met hayna so lo Senegal.
No.
Ala musotina adigutina.
No.
Ala milbi jeme bebe bor kol to kata. Bi Senegal mi ye nintul fata. Because we have the financial intelligence unit.
Yeah.
But Senegal, they have the CENTIF.
Any transaction.
Financial Information Control Center.
Yep.
Any transaction beyond 5 million CFA in your account, CENTIF, the banks are required to report it to CENTIF.
Yeah.
And CENTIF will check where did this money come from. They will write to you.
Yeah.
There's a transaction of $5 million CFA on your account. Where did the money come from? Can you justify it? If you justify it, fine, it goes. If it's a legitimate earning, a legitimate transaction, fine. Otherwise, you call to book. And CENTIF is uncovering so much. And the other thing about J is that these small opaque banks that have been set along the side, like Aura Bank and all that stuff, all the financial transactions Katari Wallela, we can account because in the Societe Generale or the other places, you have somebody who knows Minister Kari or somebody in the position, they will probably tell them. So they set up these small banks, opaque banks, that's where all the laundering was happening. And that's what worries me here. Because Mega Bank has been sold to somebody, Mamina Kulong. Malong, who is he? What is he up to? And a number of companies coming from abroad are establishing here are working with Mega Bank. Is it going to be another money laundering enterprise? Is it going to be another place where wrong financial activities are going to take place? Time will tell.
Yeah.
But we will be watching.
We'll be watching.
Yeah.
As we always remember, Baroko national audit reports are just opinions. Mere opinions, Ebrima Sillah, they are not the Bible or the Quran.
Yeah.
So we will always remember this because these are very important things to remember.
Exactly.
And also, it just worries me, an office like the National Audit Office, very independent, wala doko, Nico is not the Bible or the Quran. Just years after, like you even had the opportunity to respond, but be like, Fontole, what are you doing? The credibility of the office, if call a question. And I think that is very worrying.
Mol na te kwe kungela ila ofiso nga konti bole. Nga nyim problemo lejije. Yita mi secondary, iba fale alit report din. Yela mol kumani, mune kerinja, mune kata nyim karo kata nyali, mune kata je inyi nkaro ke ya find out. Nim kuru yara kata je ya tilid. Baite ma ofwe amanke Al-Quran, amanke Bible, amanke
Hani State House ya kumol fo jele bari man finti ya wol fo de bari ite bina finti le kumol fo ka mol
ni ya ko ay dimma de bi wonde fo sunya ya wala punto ya kaja iko ala bula kan kana batandi dinka kana tokuya instead of yedi ko mandi ina siya ina muneketa
ni after to nyale ka aussi pal
yeah
ni do na de ko dingo ha biya sunya ro kente mo dara wandi do lil panya ika ko mandi ya sindi na kaja muneketa ikanjum fo muneketa ina kaja. But ni mo okay, ika fa ta ya ke problem tije. Sama na kata do fa itele push.
Yeah.
You know? So this is what yenta kala banko kan. Minister yenta wore kela. Yera mol kuma de ko report sama na yera mol si.
Yeah.
ni ko audit report o mu opinion damba ni all the prosecution milkatra Mansakunda because prosecution milka is charged with crime la woman ke judgment ko judge le kana wala ka kiti okay aya kuntu so prosecution wala kana waka accusation land waka charge ni la so ni ko fenkol auditors wala report is mere opinion abuko do ning the office of the the ning prosecution nyoltare mo arrest ye hani evidence do Mansakunda ka nyanta folol bebul there's a mere opinion
or auditor le btano doctor ko nte la jinde ngamira is the beginning of diabetes, is the beginning of that. It's a medical opinion. Opinion
yeah, because doctor Oka Mimfo, and in Molo Siloka, Mialonka, Mampela Yafo, Manki Kilindi. Nimodola Siloka, Ministry of Works, Alayim Kodole, Tafal, Alman, Aliatinya, who is different from auditors, Mialonko, government is in the Yenila do Koti, ye most of the Mialonko, Yela Karamoti. Ni wol theater wol mantra dogo wol mantra opposition ye Mansakunda le wol sindije
exactly
wol partisan sympathy le do kudo ni wol theater ko nyile tinyata la ministry fen ko nyanda silele la wole min fo ni atra ita hakilo be to nyalto
nyante la moy la wala